Veronica brings up a great point. Can I ask you these direct questions, Veronica, Brandy, Whitney?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Did we adequately establish that the cosmetic industry and the weave industry and all of this makeup and all of this extraness, fashion industry, did we adequately establish that those industries capitalize off of the self-hate of people of color, women of color in particular? Did we adequately establish that?
I think they capitalize on the fact that we spend a lot of money on beauty products, whether they're products to make us look European or to even moisturize and keep our natural hair intact. Because, I mean, we're selling those too. They're selling those too. I think it's an economic issue because, like, Black people spend a lot of money in this industry, and we're not in control of it. But I don't think that is necessarily the fault of the consumer.
It's not about the fault.
Except for that they can try to find places where they can spend the money in the Black community, but that's like hard to find.
Right. But I think I'm trying to drill down into the self-hate aspect of it. Like, did they capitalize on a portion of our insecurity about what we look like? About what the fuck would beauty look like? What would African American or African beauty look like without westernized fingerprints on it? What would it look like? What would be fine as hell without the western twinge?
Well, perhaps it would be a different type of makeup. Perhaps it would be a different type of hair adornment. But women and people are still, I mean, throughout centuries, throughout cultures, there's always been ways to enhance or alter or change your beauty. There's been makeup. I mean, the Maoris have tattoos. You know, they're the African cultures that wear the tall bangles up their really long necks.
You know what I'm starting to feel? And I'm gonna come to you, Whitney. But you know what I'm starting to feel? I feel like beauty is a torn ligament in the African American community that has no nerves. So they can't really feel the pain. It's just on automatic. It's on autopilot. Right. Self-hate is on autopilot, I believe.
That's right.
And if that's the case, if self-hate is on autopilot, and I'm talking about from the individual, how can our relationships be worth a damn?
That's what I was saying. Like, without Veronica speaking on it today, I never looked at me going out wanting to put makeup on or putting my hair, straightening my hair or whatever. I never looked at it as self-hate. I looked at it as I want to feel better about myself. I never looked at it in that way.
I don't self-hate as self-esteem? Right. Can self-hate camouflage itself as self-esteem?
Like,
I just don't think that because you groom and adorn yourself that it is a practice of self-hate. I think that you know, that many animals, as we are animals, practice different mating rituals. And part of our mating ritual is to present ourselves in a way that the other gender views beautiful.
That's beautiful. And that it's articulate, but it doesn't make sense because you never see a lion trying to get that pussy ready for a leopard. You just don't.
And
you don't see another animal getting itself worked up and doing its ritual dance for another species.
Well, we're not doing it either. We're doing it. We're not talking about cross species here. It's still humans and humans. We're all humans and humans and humans.
But the thing that separates us, because the dance, right? That say the bird does a certain kind of dance for its species, right? For its type of bird. Well, what the brothers and sisters do, we do a dance that has been dictated to us by those who have stripped us of our own cultural game rules.
I see where you're coming from. I don't totally disagree with you, but I just don't think. I mean, I don't. So what then is the answer? Is everybody to go home, take out all the chemicals, all of the makeup, everything, and strip down naked, and start all over? Is that the way?
But isn't being naked?
I think that's unrealistic, and it's not going to happen. And I'm not going to want to. And it's not because I don't feel good stripped down. I feel perfectly comfortable and beautiful, and sometimes even more so stripped down. But sometimes you want to dress it up. It's just, I think that is the way we are as humans. And while self-hate is ingrained, it's in there, and it's disappointing and heartbreaking, especially for me as a full 100%, or at least both of my parents are Black. You know what I'm saying? Black woman. And kind of seeing the way that we're not really appreciated. Our beauty is not really appreciated in the same way right now. But at the same time, I don't want everything that I do in regard to what I look like today to have to be a political statement. It gets exhausting to have to do that. Some days I just want to put this red lipstick on because I like the way it makes my face look.
Yeah.
And it's not because I hate my lips.
You hate yourself, Brandy. And you have guaranteed an F for today's show.
I think that I think you said it beautifully, Brandy. And you said it earlier in your story with your family. Mm-hmm. The assault, and I'm not trying to just make this political, the assault that we've been under, the exhaustion that we face, is that Black female beauty isn't revered as part of the cultural beauty standard. And so the reason that industries can be built around us that we support and don't benefit from is because they are playing on that exact fact.
Right.
That our Black skin, our chocolate skin, and our kinky hair is devalued.
And that's the thing.
Wound, that race wound, that identity. I was saying earlier in the Black Mastery program how we filter for what we believe. We collect evidence for what we believe. So if fundamentally we are swimming in a psychology and an identity that says that we are ugly and we have to do something, put on something, buy something that makes us feel more beautiful, then that wounding is the thing that fundamentally needs to be addressed by our sisters and our brothers.
No, it's true. It's true. At the end of the day, if you hate yourself, you can't love someone else. You simply cannot. Because what that person that you're trying to love isn't actually loving you. They're loving a shadow version of you or a manicured image that you're projecting. You're not vulnerable enough to let them see who you really are. Personal note. I remember years ago, I was making love to this one girl. Mm-hmm. Chocolate, beautiful woman. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Just chocolate and buttery and...
Okay, get on with the story.
Yeah.
Come back, come back.
I got transported. I'm sorry.
He's lingering here.
It was a beautiful time. But she had a weave. And I think I was hitting it from behind on the mattress. And I think I was hitting it so hard. This is a true story. Her weave came loose.
Oh, no.
And do you know how underneath the weave, there's like this...
beehive.
You know, like the swaddling wrap of braids, you know, with the little stocking cap or whatever.
Yeah, she on the wig.
Whatever it was, it came loose. Came loose, right? And so she covered her head. She didn't stop moaning. She just grabbed the pillow, and then covered her head. Just so I couldn't see the contraption underneath the wig. And I'm saying, you're still bad. To me, you still bad. It's okay. I'm in it right now.
Like, you already got it.
It's all good.
The weave already worked.
But I feel like this beauty facade is just that. It's like a shield. It's like a scab. It's like, you can't really see me because I'm behind this. And it's like, as long as we're in that kind of psychology, we're going to be weak people in our relationships. Mm-hmm. Do you feel me? We're carrying that weakness there.
That's the thing Veronica said earlier, was the basketball wives. You asked earlier, who does everybody look up to? That's what the young girls are looking up to. I see girls with fake eyelashes every day. I just saw that you can buy eyebrows and glue them onto your face.
Sure.
Just like a lace front wig. And look at all the relationships on those shows.
How many sisters you know have basically ripped out their eyebrows in favor of drawing them back on?
I got a couple friends. I'm like, you would be gorgeous if you had your eyebrow hair.
How you just pluck it all out into Whoopi Goldberg world, where you run around with no fucking eyebrows just so you can draw them back on?
That's more work.
And the deep piece about hair, I've talked before on this show about how this is an energy world. Mm-hmm. And really, if women want to powerfully polarize and magnetize men, then they have to embody their correct polarity. Ooh. They have to embody their energy, and that's all the magnetism they need. She's the magnetic polarity. He's the electric polarity. She magnetizes him to her. So it's an energy world. So they call it chi. The Egyptians call it ka. The Africans call it ashe.
The Hindus call it prana. Yes.
It's life force. It's life force. And when women are engaged when they are correctly engaging in their life force, they can attract whole rooms of thousands of men. Wow. Because they will actually polarize him. Right? So if what we are engaging in this beauty industrial complex is actually draining our life force, if it's actually draining our life force, then we're playing ourselves out of pocket, because the very thing that we naturally, organically have, if we were to pay attention to it, would be the thing that would polarize and pull men in droves. The Tao masters say that life force is stored in the hair. The pubic hair, the hair on the head. So there's life force that we're built with it. But we keep going outside of ourselves and giving our attention to the ambition around it, as opposed to relaxing into the fact that we're already it. There's nothing more to prove. There's nothing more to strive for. There's nothing more to become except more of ourselves. And that's what I think we're missing. Is all this attention is on these things that are external, when who we are internally, naturally and organically and innately is all the power we need to do everything that we want to do.
Well, you just basically said we weak as shit, and I agree with you.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you there, that we do have all the power that we needed, and it's not based on a lot of the external things. Mm-hmm. But I want to go back to something that you said earlier, Veronica, and you said a lot of it had to do with confidence. Mm-hmm. No matter what you look like. Yep. And I think that's very important, because I do think that when, given the society that we live in, because now, we're getting to a point now where it may not even be a European standard of beauty. Like, we're doing alien beauty right now. I have friends that have decided now that they want blue hair. And who are they copying? It's just, besides, of course, your Nicki Minaj's and your popular culture. And I love that. I love that as humans, we're able to expand ourselves and be creative with what we have. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that at the core of that, though, you do have to know who you are, understand who you are, love and appreciate who you are, what you were born with. Appreciate your brown skin, not to hate yourself because of it, but then from that place you can do whatever. And I think that your true beauty shines with knowing yourself internally and being confident, whether you're rocking weave or a teeny weeny afro.
We've got one final video that I think it's very important that we should play. Do we have it queued up? Let's go to the video, and then afterwards, final thoughts. Go. Well, Jesus.
Wow.
That was fun.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. And we just showed the footage of her pulling the weave off. And I've known Cheryl Underwood for a lot of years, and she's a very intelligent sister. But the comments that were made about don't nobody like Negro nasty hair. She got a lot of backlash for that. We talked a lot about self-hate today. She got backlash because to speak so vehemently about what is natural, right, is painful for black people.